Hey y'all, Zach McDonald, your real estate agent with Real Property Associates, and I just want to talk a little bit about open houses again. A few months ago, I recorded a video titled "Open Houses Are Dead," and it was my wishful thinking that maybe open houses would be gone for good. We'd never have to hold them again, and buyers and sellers would have serious activity in their houses versus the kind of looky-loo activity you get during open houses. But I was wrong, and 2 months later, here we are. The Seattle real estate market, our local Northwest MLS, has opened up open houses again. And essentially, a lot of the restrictions that we were originally under have been lessened, and so they've processed through those different restrictions and decided to allow open houses again. So there are some rules around this. Now, when I'm showing a house, I still have to wear my handy dandy mask, and so do the clients, and we have to make sure that we don't have any of the COVID symptoms. But buyers are allowed to go into houses in larger numbers than before. So the logic is that, well, why can't we have an open house with 5 people or less? So currently we have to put a sign on the door now, and we have to lock the door if there's too many people, but we are able to hold open houses again. So this is more of just an announcement. I think my opinion on it is I still think it's a terrible idea, especially given the situation that we're in. I don't see why we need to hold open houses. I think the big push that happened at the beginning of COVID to have the 3D tours and the video tours and the better photos, things I was already doing, was really helpful for the industry. And I think people really can get a good idea for what the house looks like without going to look at it. And most people aren't going to buy a house without seeing it in person, and that's where their agent comes into play. So I'm a much bigger supporter of a pre-qualified buyer with their agent coming to take a look at a house versus buyers that we don't really know. We don't know if they're approved coming to look at a house by themselves at an open house. So with that being said, I had and held open houses over the weekend. A few of my associates sat in on those open houses, and activity was relatively slow. There aren't a ton of people that are excited about going into an open house setting right now, but we did have a few people come through that were maybe more casually looking at the house online and came to see it and maybe had a different opinion after seeing it in person. But ultimately, I don't know if it was really worth the effort to hold that open house for a couple different buyers to come through over 2 days. So we'll see. Maybe more open houses will be opening up, and people will start attending open houses a little bit more frequently here as maybe they get more used to the idea again. But I still feel just in my gut that open houses aren't the best idea anymore, and ultimately never were, at least in the more modern world of real estate, that helpful for sellers when trying to sell their home.